to Tableau Live, March edition. My name's Jordan, and I'm a marketing manager with Boulder Insight, and I'll be co-hosting with Chris today, who is our founder, CEO, and good guide to know.
Hello.
Hello, hello. If this is your first time joining us, please drop a one in the chat. And if this is not your first time and you've been here before, if you could drop a two, we'd like to see who's here for the first time and who's a familiar face. Awesome. Lots of ones coming in. Well, we host this webinar every single month, the third Wednesday of every month. So whenever you have, Tableau questions or a topic or something you're stuck on, feel free to send it over and we'll cover it in this monthly webinar. With the exception of April, because we'll be going to Tableau conference, and it falls over when we normally have Tableau Live and we'll be doing our own Tableau Live presentation at TC, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. But agenda for today, the only submitted question we had was around 508 compliance and making improvements to dashboard accessibility. So, Chris, I was going to have you during your dashboard makeover kind of touch on that, and then I have some knowledge-based articles that I'll share as well. And then there will be some time for open Q&A and for anything that comes up throughout the call. So without further ado, Chris, I'll hand sharing over to you and we can take a look at what you've been working on.
Okay. Well, you want to cover the 508 thing real quick? We can do that first.
Oh yeah, sure.
I can I can show you a couple things on that. So one of the I mean, you've probably already figured out a couple things. Let me open up a view that I've done in the past. Let me turn my camera on too. Sorry about that. And there we go. Okay. So let me open up. Got a workbook that we've built before, and it is, let's see where I'll save that at. Some sales. Actually, I'll probably do it on the server faster. Jordan, let me share my screen?
Okay.
This is probably an easier way to do it. We've got a bunch of things out here that we have. I will show, maybe. Sign it. It's always tough getting into these shared environment or the cloud environment that make you log in 100 different ways. So get back to here. Okay. So okay. All right. Now we got to go to the okay. Finally in. All right. One of the things we do a lot of is most of the time people talk about 508 compliance. There's really two main ones. There's a lot of different compliance pieces. The one that's really hard to do is the whole screen reader part. We do have a solve for that. It's not great. I will show you how we did it. This one is the one I'm going to show you first is really on the actually colors. So if you're dealing with like a colorblind palettes, that's actually one thing. We have let's see, it's in the demo folder, I believe. Not in the demo folder. It's in the big stuff folder. would you believe I put it on the wrong server? Open site group. Man, this is why I call these things Tableau Live. Not type fast enough to get rolling again. I would have had this pulled up. I didn't know this question, but we definitely have. So one of the things I don't really like about like using like the colorblind palette in Tableau is only gives you a few options, which is not typically enough. But also too, it's not it's not like it's really kind of like prevalent. So Tableau always tells you, hey, you should you should use things that only work for the colorblind. But what we do is we do this folder. That was demo color swap. Here we go. So this is what I was talking about. So what we do is we actually build it with two different ways. So one is for the people who can see color, having red and green is great. But there it goes. So having red and green kind of means something. So what we do is we just make another option just to swap out the color. So doing that is super simple. To make that happen, all you do is you just take your color field and you just name it something different. So I think we have a color. I'll just show you the code behind it. So if I'm going in here looking at how I have the color set up for this one was probably done a long time ago. There's more options now with having that. So this is I think this one what we did is we anomaly score bucket parameter 1, parameter 2. So those are the different. So this one is colorblind, and then this one is not. So CB1 or CB2. So that's kind of what we do. So we just swap between those two pieces. So that way it gives us different actually color names. And so that's how we kind of assign the different colors. The other thing, if you're trying to get the whole screen reader to work, one of the things we found is really the best thing is that you can't put text on the dashboard. The screen reader doesn't read that. But what it does read is is your whole sheet title of your sheets. So what we ended up doing was going into the title of the sheet, and we would have the sheet name, and then we would come up with calculations that would kind of give me like the top 3 values or the bottom 3 values. It would tell you something about the graph, and then you would just add those in here. Like we'll just say, so like metric 1, metric 2, so on. And then these you would just make them the same color as the background. Say this was black, and then you just make them as actually small as you can. I think Tableau lets you go down to well, it lets you go down to 8. I think you can go down to 6. I think even smaller. So you can type in normally not on the web, but just make these as actually small as possible. And so that way you don't see them, and then you can fill up your thing with all that. So those are the two main things for 508 compliance. Tableau is still working on the screen reader part. This was the only option that we had other than building some separate app that worked differently. So hopefully that kind of does your answer. The other thing for the colorblind piece is I'll show you. This is something that we're working on. It's coming out next month. I'll show you this, and we call it the whole taco. And I'll open up this. So and this is where you load in your actually preferences file. And so Tableau comes up with all these colors that you can use. So if you go into your whole repository and you have your preferences file, then that's going to load this. Let me scale my browser down a bit, as you can see. So what we do is we actually check these palettes for the different like a colorblind pieces. So here we could tell you that this color palette here works good. If we went to this one, if I want to qualify for a good color palette, I'd probably get rid of this one. So I get rid of that guy because that now this one's all good. Now we get rid of the second one here. So then now that would be my palette. Whoops, still only got one. It's not going to be great. I didn't like this one either. I guess that gray is too close. Okay, so there would be something that would actually work because they're far enough off. This one here with no color is almost impossible to get. So really, you need to just focus on these like the three actually types, whether it be red blind, blue yellow, or like green. Those are really the three main ones that you have to work on. But this is a product that we're coming out with. That way you can kind of manage your own actually palettes and stuff like that. These are all the ones we have. But yeah, kind of a cool feature. Hopefully that if there was something else about 508 compliance that you're working on, if you can come off mute and just tell me what it is, I can try to answer for you. Or you should give me a thumbs up to say that actually covered it. I don't know. I don't know if
Um,
was here who asked that question.
Rob, it's going to be part of this toolkit called the Big Survival Kit. And it's going to be a year, either a yearly or I think an annual subscription, and you'll get access to the Taco or the Tableau Advanced Color Organizer, Tableau templates, the big bucket calc generator, and we can do a demo of those things, those
Yeah,
other tools later. But yes, something we've been working hard on for quite some time now.
yeah. But yeah. All right, cool. The other thing I was going to show is there more? Since we've got people here, is this? I mean, there's something else. Is there something else you want to kind of ask since you're here? Or let me just go through kind of what I was going to do today. Anybody have any questions or things they're like struggling with? All right. Well, I'll show you this. This is something I'm actually working on for the whole conference. I got my background's messed up. Actually, I'm just gonna go back. I'm just gonna choose the last one. Um, but anyway, this is something that I like do that typically whenever I start out like a new like dashboard, what I found is I kind of always build the exact same things. I kind of build the same things over and over and over. And so this is kind of my whole starter template. And then so what I did is I went and grabbed this dashboard or this workbook really from like a Tableau. Tableau loads this for you if you go into your Sparkle inside of this superstore. There's like a bunch of different dashboards for you. And so this is actually one that they actually give you. And so this is typically what we see. A lot of people build crosstabs. And so I'm just going to show you how I would kind of think through this if I were to do it. So the first thing I would do is I would just kind of paste it into my kind of starter dashboard that I have. That makes it handy for me. And then I'm just going to actually swap out the data source. So I want to swap my my data source from my mock data to my new data. And what that's going to do is that's going to write, yeah, it's going to give me some errors. That's fine. No problem. But now what that's going to do is that's going to move all of my calcs that I had over to my new data source. So that way I don't have to build these actually again. So I'm gonna have some things that break, but that's actually fine. So I just want to kind of look for what I want. So in my data set, I had like a big dimension and then big dimension two, had some dates and that kind of stuff. So we're just going to look for those same fields here in this new one. So I know I got, let me get rid of the group by folder piece so everything goes in order. All right, let's just start with this. So and I always want to get rid of these like hierarchies as well. So if we look at what they had, remove hierarchy. we go back to the this detail sheet here. So we got sales, quantity, discount, profit, and profit ratio. So in my data set, I have these big measures. So let's just do, so sales would be like a dollar amount. So I might replace that with sales. I'll fix that one. And then I got a profit ratio that I got here. I got a percentage one. So I'll replace that with profit ratio. That's going to be a percentage. And then I've got other ones that I've got different numbers. I'll just go ahead and use I'll go ahead and use I'll just use those as they are. So one of the things I always build is this just kind of a choose IQ metric. So this lets me pick things out. So you see the ones I've already replaced. So sales is one I swapped out. And then I had this a percent of total that goes to my 13. Let's go figure that one out real quick. So 13 should be my metric. So that's going to pull in. Okay, I gotta swap those things out first. So let's just say that's going to swap out with my product like a category or product name. So that's fine. So that'll give me my profit ratio. Maybe do average. Oops. Mentioned. And maybe this is too much using this thing, but I was trying to use it. But anyway, the whole point of this stuff is you don't have to build all this stuff the exact same way. So I have these starter pieces here that would all like work for me. So if I look at my detail sheet, I have these dimensions. I have customer, order, ship date, and then if I look at the dashboard, really I had these actually filters: region, state, city, category, and segment. So what I would do is I would just say, okay, I know my key metrics: sales, quantity, discount, profit, and profit ratio. So those are things you can't look at the exact same time. So I would just fix my like a parameter here to say sales. What was it? Profit. Let's look at what the other ones are again. Sales, quantity, discount. I'll grab a screenshot of that just so I have it. I'll be able to build it really quick. So, yeah. All right. There we go. So go back into my thing here. Choose metric. And I'll just make all these things match. So sales, quantity, discount, profit, and profit ratio. Okay. So now when I choose any of those things, those are going to come up for me. And then I've already got built out here some things for my different like KPIs. So my first one here, I'll go grab this. I can just swap it out. It lets me. And there we go. So swap out this one. So I want to do sales. So I'll just swap out, rename it. Back. So sales is now good. I want quantity. Discount. Yeah. Profit. And that one will need to set the default property if it's not already set to a whole percentage. Yeah, it already is. Okay, cool. All right, so that gets me all of those set up. The other thing that I I do, I'm going to fix this one. So we also had dimensions in our data set. We had state and province. So I can take let's fix our choose metric real quick. Let's fix that. Choose metric. This one is, whoops, not that. Cancel. So I know this one was sales. So I think I had sales as one. It's right there. Quantity. Thing. Sales quantity discount. So sales quantity discount. And these I just had kind of wiped out, but we can put those in real quick. Discount and profit. All right, and then profit ratio. Oops. Okay, so all right, I think that gets all those set up for me. So now I'm back to here. So we had these different dimensions. So let's just say I take like state, and that's my different states. Also have like a color setup. So my color, I'll always create one field that has color in it. So that way, if I do it once, it's gonna do it for all these. So if I change my color, do it one time, that's going to swap it on all of my different views. So there's my state format, and I like to do font size 11, just be a little bit bigger, and white. There we go. Okay, so once I have one of these things set up, it's really kind of simple. Let me just go into this sheet. I'll change this to rename to state, and I'm going to duplicate here, because that way I get the exact same format. And then I pull in, I think you had city was another thing we had. So if I just pull in city here, it'll do the same thing for me and I don't have to do anything. So I format my cities. So format and 11 and white. Okay. So now I can add these things in. So state, I didn't rename my city, but say I throw that in here. I think I just did it as state 2. I did actually use actually floating all the time. The reason why is it lets me do a couple things. I'm going to show you one thing it does here that's kind of cool that I've already got actually built in is so if you use floating, you can use actually layers. So what I have here is I have this set up that if I choose sales, then this is gonna like highlight around my sales like KPI. If I choose quantity, it's gonna give me a whole highlight around that one and so on. So I think that's kind of neat to be able to do that. So you can have different highlights. How that works is technically I have I have something built in the background. So if I just grab this and I'll just pull this background down. So what you see is I have back here in the back, I've got this whole container built that is just these actually these like highlight fields. So all it is I'm just pulling in a number, and then I have my color set up, and then this filter just basically tells me I should either show or hide this actually color based on what's actually selected. So if I select sales, then that one's going to go away, leaves my background color of black, and if I select quantity, it's going to show it. So kind of a cool way to get these things laid out so they show you all the stuff. I'm just gonna put it back so you can see back the container. But yeah, but having things as floating so you can layer everything is really key to make it to do some really cool stuff. But um yeah, so then same thing is call this one city, rename. And let's go back, see what else we have. So on this dashboard, we've got region, city, category, and segment. So let's do those. So I'm just going to do duplicate. Let's do region. Okay, same deal, format. Rename, region. And we had category and segment. We'll do category. I'm going to do another one to rename. Yeah. Category. I'm going to put in sub actually category too. I think that's more handy than the category. Amount. Okay. Segment was the other one I had. Duplicate. Okay. By the way. All right. And segment should rename. All right. So this is where back to the dashboard. I can get rid of this one. It's just a placeholder for me. Hide it. So now I can start putting things in. What I could have done might have been even easier is to drag in like a vertical container, and then so I've got my let's do segment, and then category, and let's do sub category. We also had region. So region maybe these are not that big. Let's throw them all in there. And I probably should have done the same thing for my other one as well. Let's just see how this fits. So in general, still kind of, if I take region out, let's see how that goes. Yeah, that'll be better. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create another vertical container. So I'm going to move these over to kind of group them. So I'm going to take region, put that over here. Oops. State, and because that kind of ties to it since it's based on the same stuff. Okay. All right. So it's like our segment is probably a main area. So I'll just throw that over here. The good thing about using these containers, you can move things around really fast. So just drag that over there. And make it as big as you can. Fill up all the room. Almost was it not actually make these a little bit smaller. That'll do it. Okay. All right, so now they're plenty actually big enough. And then once I get them where I want them, I'm going to actually delete this container. Because then I want to move things down a little bit. So I'll go down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 20. And I'll move this one down 10. So 281. Just get a little bit of space in there. Same thing over here, right? So I have all these guys set up. These definitely will not space right. So get them to be close. Here we go. And these definitely will have to have a scroll bar on them, but it's okay. It's bigger. Okay. So now I've had one size smaller, one size smaller, one size smaller. Okay. And always want to do a fit actually width on these, just to make sure they don't have any sideways scrolls on them. And same deal. I'm going to get rid of the whole container. Move container. And the reason why I want to do that, a couple reasons. One, when I turn on my actions. So this will be the next thing I do. I'll turn on dashboard actions, and I would just add a filter action from all sheets to all sheets. And I want to do it on select. I want to show all values on clear, all to all. And what this is going to do for you is when I click on corporate, then that's going to actually filter all my actually things for me. So now I've got all my actually metrics, all my KPIs, all actually but based on that one actually filter. I think this is super handy. This is way better than trying to do it on having actually filters because you have actions. So if you look at the dashboard that we kind of started with this dashboard, I have the ability to look at region, but the problem is that this actually region is always going to be in alphabetical order. So if I wanted the total by region, I really can't get it, and I don't have any more information here to tell me what's what. Versus just doing the dashboard a little differently, I actually now tell you by region. I tell you your top region is actually the West. So the West is your top, and then your Central is third from the is third. So now I can give you that information on the fly. I can filter the same way I would normally. I can give you all the states that are in that region. I can give you all the cities that are in that region, and kind of so on. So this is a way better way to do it, and you get the same information. And if I said, hey, I wanted to look at sales instead of the whole quantity, then yeah, I can go and actually do that too. So these are just typically how I build out dashboards anyway. It's just a much faster way to do it. Just building things, building one dashboard first and getting all of your metrics down makes it so much more clean. Now I've got a ton of room in the middle here. I can do all kind of things with that I want, but like building these things just doesn't help because you have to memorize what was good and what was bad versus I can sort by anything, So let me kind of pause. I guess one thing I didn't put in is like, the customer name. So customer name, I'd probably do that where I would add some like a secondary kind of metric. That would be something like this. I would always want to start with kind of an existing dashboard or existing worksheet if I can. The reason why is because I have already spent time getting rid of all these things. So I turn off all my lines. I turn off all of these lines. These don't matter in the middle. turn off all those. I'll make sure my whole background is clear. So starting with an existing one, even if you don't use anything on it, is really kind of helpful. So I would just wipe that out, and let's just say, actually, I can't wipe it out because it'll add some things back. But if I said, okay, I wanted to look at my main metric, and then I wanted to have like a secondary one, I could definitely do that. So I could duplicate this one, and that gives me another metric to choose from. And let's say I go in here and I look at my metric, my 001, and I'll just duplicate this one. I'll show you kind of a cool thing to do. Rename. And this is metric, choose metric 2. And we'll call this one 2. Edit. We'll call this one 2. So what I would do here is I would say, okay, I've got choose metric 1 here, and I've got choose metric 2 goes here. And that gives me kind of this whole actually plot. So, and I'd want this thing to be, let's see if I can do this. I don't think I can. I'd have to come up with a way to, you can't add anything here in these things, but that's all right. We'll get rid of that for now. So what I would end up having is add that, like this. All right, so I got choose metric 1, choose metric 2, and then I want to break that down by my like customers. Okay, so right now they're the exact same thing, but if I show this one, show parameter. So if I wanted to say sales actually quantity. So now I would have, well, I guess it doesn't work that way. It should. I'm grabbing this wrong one twice. Choose metric. Oh, I did. I didn't grab the second one. These got to be copied. There we go. Should give me, it didn't work how I was hoping it would. Maybe I need to do something different. I need to grab like maybe kind of actually orders or something like that, maybe. But you can always have a secondary metric to kind of break down your to break down your customers. So this customer, count distinctive orders, some way to be able to see. So let's throw this on there, rename, scatter. Maybe we don't count distinct, maybe we just count. Give us a better, there we go. So something like that. Go back to the dashboard and throw that one in there. Some way to look at your customers and some way you can kind of deal with it to be able to know that's what happened. Label, but some way to break down these actually customers to tell you what's going on. So this person here has bought a 29 things for $14,000, right? So that's the number that they bought. So typically I'd want to do, actually, let's do this. This would be a good way to do it. Parameter and metric 2. So it's already there. Probably hidden from me. Tableau likes to hide things. So if you bring a dashboard in, there's my color. There's my metric 2. It's going to hide it. Color. Oh, there it is. Oh, there, I didn't see it there. Okay. So this is my second metric. So let's put this one on profit. That'd be a good way to look at it. I'll go back to this. So a customer should not give me the same number. Oh, you know what? I know what I didn't do. That's why. This has got to be my second one. There we go. Yeah, it's small again. Okay. So I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong with that. All right. So now you have the ability to to say, okay, I want to look at sales would be one side, and then your profit is the other. So now this is, let me clear my get rid of all this stuff and just make it so it's nice and neat. And tooltip reset. So that way, there we go. So we would know what, and I'll fix this too. So tooltip 1, so the copy is the 2. So we'll insert parameter 2, and this is parameter 1. So that way we know that our, hey, why don't we take that out? I messed up something. But anyway, it should tell you that we got profit is, oh, I'll see what it did. So, so we got profit of 11.99. I didn't do the tab. I should want. There we go. So profit of 18.95 and the sales of 10 whatever. So this person here has bought $8,000 worth that is not actually profitable. So not actually good. But that would be how I would lay out these customers instead of just giving you all their numbers like is on this sheet, because this is just not actually helpful, right? I don't really care about reading all these numbers. I want to be able to know who I should talk to and who I shouldn't. So laying them out in some sort of a grid and then making something like this where I can say, okay, give me the sales by the actually discount. So I can tell you who actually got the most actually discount. So they only got $10 and they bought a ton, versus this person only got a discount of 4. This is going backwards here. 3. Okay, I guess the higher discount is on the top. So they got the most discounts, almost 10 points or 10 what, but that's what we added up to. So it'll be interesting to see that person on the whole Q profit, you know. But yeah, so those are things I typically do. Just trying to build out a dashboard. Do you guys feel that, you know, that something like this is better than kind of where we actually started? And what I've done here. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up if you think this is more helpful than this sheet. Cool. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to know? I mean, I'm just kind of riffing here. So anything?
Yeah. Any more questions about anything that Chris has done or?
Well, the other thing cool is that, you know, so adding this customer chart here, you can then easily take, you know, now I'm actually, so you can add in these actually filters as actually well. So like right now I'm filtered on the West for most of these things. Let's go down to something smaller. So let's say I want to look at customers just in, you know, just in this state. So you can break down everything by there as well. So where they're actually located. So there you go. So Ohio, and so David Brenner. Let's see what his profit ratio is. Ooh, somebody's way down here. So Cindy Stewart's not going to get a fruit basket for me. That's for sure.
Love it.
So that's just a quick and dirty way. This starter template I am going to kind of get ready, and I'm going to give it away. So definitely sign up for our newsletter, and then I will send this out once it's actually perfected. I'm still kind of building it for the conference. We are actually speaking at the conference. This is going to be kind of part of one one actually talk that we're doing, and we are going to give this away. So you have all these pieces. If you've been here before, you've heard me talk about like naming conventions. You'll notice all of our calcs and everything are all named a certain way. This just really helps to find things. If you've ever built a dashboard, it's got like hundreds of calculations. Trying to go back and map what's used is really tough. Well, I can't get into a sheet, but the things we do are each actually calculation has its own number. And then on the end of it, we have things that are actually nested. So like, for example, this one, if I was to look at this calculation, this is calculation 4. And then I'll use parameter 1, I use parameter 2, and then I use a metric 1, right? So I can tell just by the name what's actually used in there. So if I need to make a change to a metric 1, I can just go and search for 001. And now I get 001, and I also get all the actual things that's actually used in. So I can check it to make sure it's not, I'm not like causing any problems. So it's really a handy way. Takes a few more seconds, and you end up not. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, I don't want to do that because I want to be able to use the name of the field in my actually dashboard." Well, that only comes up whenever you're building like crosstabs. So that would come up here, like the name would appear on the top here, like for sales. But I don't really care about that. I don't care that because I don't ever actually build crosstabs. I always build them in these charts. So you notice none of I didn't have to change anything. So even though if it's referencing a calculation, you don't see the name of it. So if you're building it like this, you don't have to worry about the actual names of the fields. You want to build them so it's like convenient for you. Is really kind of the short of it. But let's see, is there anything else that I can think of? Um, I really do dig this whole like metric highlight thing. That's something I've been doing for a while. I did it a much harder way before, but now the way we're building our backgrounds, they just had that actually built into it. So just having that little layer of something. I know I kind of went through that quickly in the beginning, but this is all this is.
Sorry, Chris, I took over your screen share if you wanted to share again.
Oh, something happened? What happened?
Oh, I was just showing the TC information.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, do you want do we for the TC stuff, do we actually have a discount code?
Um,
I
I
know we
believe that we're getting one. I'll have to talk with Heather, but when I send my follow-up email to everybody, I will include that discount code for
okay.
signing up and a bit more information than what's just on this slide right here about each of these sessions that we'll be presenting at.
Yeah, I mean, so of the people here, are you guys going to go to a conference? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if you're going or not going, or if you're on the fence. I mean, it's definitely a great thing to go to. There's tons of sessions. You can learn like a ton there for sure. Well, Matt's not going. That's not good. But okay, Rob's on the fence. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it's actually worth it. It's always a lot of actually fun. Their whole like a Tableau night out is actually amazing always. They either have a band or something. The food's great normally. But yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure. Um, let's see. I don't have anything else I have prepared. We only got another like 7 minutes. Is there anything else you guys want to know or curious about or struggles you're dealing with? You can throw them in the chat if you want or come off mute either way. I'll try to answer.
And I'm throwing some links in the chat. If you've got a project or something that you're working on that you want to strategize and talk with Chris, I put his Calendly link, free 30 minutes to talk strategy, and then I also put in a link for our feedback form. Let us know how we did today, And signing up for May, we will be in San Diego for April's Tableau Live. But for those not attending, we'll be back on Zoom May 21st.
Well, I know what I was going to do. I was going to show a couple other things that we're going to put into the whole survival kit.
Oh, awesome.
Show you the taco. This is the big big like a bucket like generator. Something I have to build all the time. If I can get my thing to share. There we go. Come on. My computer is so slow these days. Let me get a new one. All right. Okay. So I just pulled this up. So what this does for you is I typically have to write these all the time. I got tired of it. So I built this little tool. So like for example, if I want to bucket my sales, and say, let's say I want to have it by, dollar amounts. I want to have it in the actually thousands, and my minimum is zero, buckets of say 1,000, and max is like 10 like 1,000. And I want to generate that formula. That's not very good. Let's do something better than that. 100,000. Hey, why is it not doing anything? Oh, that's my spread. Sorry. My spread is 1,000. And change this one to 10,000. There we go. Okay. So here's my formula that I would have. So I copy that and I go back into Tableau, and now I can just create that same thing. So like say for example, let's do I can make this as a new formula. Come on, give me something here. So if I want to create a new field, I think I'm on number 19. So go sales buckets and just paste. And oh, I didn't put sales, but sale. So go back, I'll just fix that here. So sales, generate buckets, copy formula. And paste. There we go. So now that's now done for me. So if I wanted to have like sales buckets as another, and really actually you know what I should have done. Now think about it. I shouldn't have done sales. Should have done my key metric. That'd have been better. So let's do I'm just going to edit this one again, and I'll pull that in just to have it. So instead of sales, I should have done, let me get this the title. Come on. Man, computer. Metric. Choose metric. So I'd copy that instead. Copy one. Let's do this. So go back to here. So instead of that, put in that instead. So that's going to generate my buckets for me. Copy that. And go. There you go. Did not get right. Should have known. Let's get it right here. Oops, let's do this one. So why is that not right? Or did I mess up on my thing? Something was a little bit off there. All right. Space in there or something that was not right. Didn't like. There we go. All right. So now I can use that as another field. So 19. So now if I did, copy here. So now I can bucket all of my sales together. I want to take out my city, obviously. Sales didn't work. So it's not right. I think I need to go back and what should have worked? No, it's not working. Oh, maybe they're not that big. Maybe I should make it smaller. Um, but anyway, the whole point is to be able to build these actually formulas really fast. So maybe I want 100. I'll make it really crazy. So that'll show something here. Yeah, I'd hate to have to write all of that out. See if that did anything for me. Still not giving me all my stuff. Maybe I didn't go actually high enough. That's my problem. I think that was my problem. 10,000 is too low. 100,000. Zero. Make this thing work. Show me something.
Chris, we got 1 minute left.
I don't know why this thing's not working, but it should work. But anyway, if you ever had to write those buckets.